So we don't have Naki here this week, which means we don't get to give you guys a random story. But because there's so much fear about Ebola and things like that, I have an Ebola tip for all of you listeners out there. Try not to let any. Yeah, here's my tip for you guys. Try not to let any obviously sick-looking strangers poop into any of your various orifices or open wounds, and you won't get Ebola.
I just go with don't touch anybody.
Yeah, well, it's in Texas right now. I'm safe.
You can't get Ebola if you don't touch anybody. That's the rule.
So that's my pro tip. Don't let anyone poop on you. No Ebola then.
You see the chart that somebody put out about how much each disease vector-wise affects people? And usually the standard person with AIDS will give it to 4 other people. The standard person with chicken pox will give it to 10. And they had this big old chart, and Ebola's all the way on the left because the standard person with Ebola gives it to 2. It's really not that communicable. Though I mean, I'm kind of down with being an asshole and saying, if these people are really going over to help people fight the Ebola virus, why is it that as soon as these doctors get Ebola, they bring them back to the States for good treatment and stick them in a fucking isolation room? Why don't they build a fucking isolation room in Africa and start shoving people in it until they can heal them from the Ebola virus?
Because that makes too much sense.
And I don't get it. You shouldn't be able to go to another country being all helpful, catch some shit, and then bring it home. I say you stay the fuck there. If what you're doing to help people is actually helping, you should be able to cure your ass where you're at. You shouldn't be coming home.
I understand what you're saying there, because I don't want Ebola, yo.
Yeah, and it seems a little mean, but shit. Last thing we need is all these doctors with borders crossing fucking borders and bringing back goddamn diseases.
Now I'm scared.
I don't want a bird flu. I want America to start looking like fucking Japan, bunch of crazy people running around wearing masks.
I'm going to wear a mask every time I go out now. Just to F with people. I got Ebola.
Just keep growing the beard out. It'll protect you.
I wonder if that would make me go to jail if I pretended to have Ebola every time I went out.
I'm not sure if there's anything... I don't think it's against the law to pretend you have a disease.
It's just poor taste.
Yeah, it's just in bad taste. It's, you're not really gonna, nobody's really gonna approve of seeing you in society. But yeah, I don't think there's something illegal about it. Now I know it's illegal if you have some type of communicable disease to lie about it and then purposely infect other people. That can go, all the way up to attempted manslaughter charges.
Well, I'm not that much of an asshole. I just want to pretend and scare the piss out of people.
There you go.
For those of you listening thinking I'm actually being serious, I'm really not.
How many people are going to go as Ebola fucking victims for Halloween this year? Just a T-shirt that says, I have Ebola, don't touch me.
I'm going to go as a Mirakuru victim with blood coming out of my eyes, and they'll think I'm an Ebola victim then.
That's true. It's no, it's from a comic book. Jeez.
See, really, what's going on here is that Slade Wilson is giving a bunch of people Mirakuru, and that's
they're all dying.
Everyone's becoming a super soldier. We just didn't know it until now.
Does that mean all the doctors that have come back and lived through it and now all have the Mirakuru in them?
Yeah, but they're also seeing things. So, they got random dead people showing up telling them what to do.
I'd be totally down for that. It would totally be worth it to have Slade Wilson's powers.
Would be. See, I can talk about all this stuff because Naki's not here and we're not spoiling her on Arrow.
That's
but
right.
If she goes and listens to the show, my bad.
She won't listen. I'd totally be down with bleeding from the eyes for a couple of days if I could have, Slade Wilson's mental processing speed and his reflexes. I'm a
badass goatee.
That's true. Manu Bennett does have a badass goatee. This is true.
I'm trying really hard to find this Ebola meme picture I saw on Facebook, and I can't find it.
Ebola meme picture?
I put all this work into it, and now I can't find it. And I was trying desperately to stall to get this picture, and it didn't happen. Well, so I guess I should take... Sorry?
No stalling for you.
Yeah, so I guess since I'm not stalling, I should take this opportunity to welcome everyone to episode 127 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. It's recorded live on Sunday, October 5th, 2014, and as you can tell, it's just myself and Anthony here today. But don't worry, we'll give you random crazy stories and insanity, but we'll have Naki report in next week with the news from Sausage Fest when she returns. And that sounded
And a
dirty.
possible Tim Tom update.
Oh, I'm hoping for a Tim Tom update. I'm bummed I'm not going to be here next week to hear that live.
For all your Tim Tom news.
Actually, I might try and drop in because I don't have to leave immediately, but I have an X-Wing tournament that day, so I could be here for like 20 minutes. So I might come just for the Tim Tom update and then leave.
Why would you schedule a tournament during our podcast? I don't get it.
I didn't schedule it.
Well, tell them to change their schedule.
I need to play X-Wing, dude. I'm jonesing. Look, my hands
getting in the way of your
shakes.
geek.
I'm shaking. No, that's just the Ebola.
It's getting in the way of your geek, man.
Yeah.
But I loved it last night. I was mixing my geek with my manliness, trying to keep everything nice and balanced. I was coloring geek pages while I was watching the UFC on my second screen.
Nice.
So, mixed martial arts and coloring comic books. That's how you spend a Saturday evening. Yeah.
I was going to watch the fights on Fox Sports 1 last night, but then I turned on the baseball game that was on right before. It's like the bottom of the ninth. 2 outs, and the Nationals are up 1-0. And then it goes extra innings, and it's the 18th inning before it's all said and done, and I could not turn off the TV because I was hooked. I was just sitting there, I was like, this is a great game. This is just a different kind of nerdery, guys. It's fully allowed.
Yeah, apparently. Because, you say it's a great game, and I'm just picturing paint drying because baseball is some of the most boring shit ever created. I'll play it, but you can't fucking pay me to watch that shit. Anything that's a professional sport where 98% of the team is either sitting or standing for 98% of the time shouldn't even be considered a sport, much less a professional sport.
Fair enough. I don't always disagree.
I know golfers that get in more of a workout than fucking professional baseball players. How can you be a professional in a sport where you're 80 pounds overweight and you do something 30%? 3 out of 10 is considered godlike in baseball. That is fucking pathetic.
Well, that's partially because of how good the pitchers are, though, too.
That's just why they need to move that goddamn mound back.
Yeah, they probably do. But before we get into the good news, it's not the good news, but the stories.
Welcome to Sports Rant.
Yeah, welcome to Sports Rant with Anthony and Chris. We're taking over the show while Naki's not here. We're gonna bitch about sports ball.
There will be no more cupcakes or unicorns. It's all sports ball all the time.
That's right. All sports ball until we make fun of people.
Well, yeah.
But before we move on to actually the real content of the show, I did want to give you all an Adahay update that I saw on Facebook. And congratulations to he and his wife. They're expecting now.
Oh, nice. I saw the lead up that there was going to be an announcement, and I kind of thought that that's what it was, but I didn't see when he actually posted the follow-up of the actual announcement.
Yes, so there's going to be a little Adahay running around in 8-9 months, so world be afraid.
Bitches.
Tim Tom could have some challenges here. I want to have Tim Tom and little Adahay.
Little Adahay versus Tim Tom.
If he inherits his father's like cutting people. But all joking aside, serious congratulations to the Adahay and his wife.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome. He leaves the show and goes and gets himself a full-on life and all that weird stuff.
So what I'm hearing here is the All Things Good Nerdy podcast acts as a natural form of birth control.
Could be.
That's good because I don't want any children's yet. If ever.
Me neither. Not yet.
I don't want any. Before we get into the news, a couple big things. Don't forget, I'm excited for this. Both Flash and Arrow start this week. I can't wait.
Damn right, it's gonna be a good week. Actually, yeah, it reminds me, I need to get caught up. I have an episode of The Next Ultimate Fighter, and an episode of Gotham, and an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to watch.
So the reason I brought that up is I just saw a really cool tweet on Twitter that Times Square is full of Flash references right now. There's like a 4-billboard, like, stretched out image of the Flash in Times Square. I'm like, damn, CW is putting down Times Square money? They must be really into this show.
No, I mean, they've seen what frickin' what Arrow's done for them.
That's all just because of Stephen Amell's abs.
Well, that and, I mean, their advertising campaign went a little crazy for Arrow. They started putting it everywhere once it started really bringing in the viewers. Like, there wasn't a comic book last year during the time when the show was live. I don't think there was a comic book out that wasn't Marvel that didn't have an ad for the Arrow in it.
Yeah.
Like, they had their fucking ads plastered in everybody's books.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah,
Everybody wins then.
bringing in people, yeah, because, damn, it's a good show. Get caught up, Naki. We got to turn this into the Arrow Hour. Goddamn show was good.
If you want the Arrow Hour, you just need to go to the Starling Tribune. It's part of the
Yeah,
WB Network.
that works too.
Because we are, I think tomorrow night, I will finally be, well, not I will, but Star Pie and Jay will both finally be caught up with Season 2. They're going to watch the Season 2 finale either today or tomorrow, and then we're recording the finale episode, so they can watch Arrow live for the first time. It'll be exciting.
Okay, and you can no longer ever refer to Stargate Pioneer as Star Pie.
That's his own title he's going by.
He's called himself Star Pie?
I've heard him call himself Star Pie.
That is fucking wrong. Star Pie is like intergalactic pussy. That's Star Pie.
So, Star Pie, if you want to come on here and defend the name that you're starting to go by, feel free. Come on next week on All Things Good and Nerdy.
Hell yeah.
Let's tussle.
It'll be fun.
I just hit my hand and it hurt.
Crazy bastard calls himself Star Pie. That's some weird shit.
Now I want pie, though.
That's worse than Star Child.
What about Star Lord?
Star Lord's not bad. It's better than Star Prince.
Fair enough. That's pretty true. But since we've dickered about for about 11 and a half minutes, why don't we just roll into the news of the week?
Yeah.
So I'll go first this week, just because mine's kind of sad. We'll need something to bring us back after this. This weekend in America, sorry for all you guys that aren't Americans, you might not care. This is the first time in 50 years there's not been a block of animated cartoons or anything broadcast in the morning on one of the big channels. CBS hasn't had it in years. NBC ditched Saturday morning cartoons in 1992. CBS also in 92. ABC lost animated mornings in 2004. And now finally the CW has canned their Saturday morning cartoon block, where we used to see things like Cubic, Sonic X, Dragon Ball Z, Digimon Fusion, Yu-Gi-Oh!, reruns of Spectacular Spider-Man, things like that. And they have all replaced them with blocks of live-action educational programming. And it's kind of a bummer. And the reason they have to do this is that these big stations have a mandate from the FCC. They have to air X amount of educational content per week. And the easiest way to do that is to air it Saturday morning when nobody wants to watch TV anymore.
Yeah, because it used to be all the afternoon stuff that they put on, like, basically the time period between when, like, kindergartners would get out of early class and then go into cartoons when elementary and junior high kids were getting out of school.
Yeah, and while I'm bummed about this, I kind of have to admit it doesn't surprise me, because we live in a different world now. People don't remember the pain that we had where it's, I got to make sure I set my VHS tape to record Batman the Animated Series because I won't be home from school yet, and I can go watch it when I get home. Now it's, oh, let me just go on Netflix or iTunes and just watch this episode whenever I want.
Oh, yeah, and kids these days, it's weird. Like my buddy Wilson, or my buddy Marvin, his son Wilson, the other day, they actually literally had to go through the talk with him where they were watching something live on television, and he kept asking his dad why he couldn't fast forward.
Yeah.
Why there were commercials. Like, he's 6 years old, he doesn't fucking understand, why am I watching advertising? This is bullshit. I want to watch my show. And it's literally the next generation, they're going to be, because of Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and all the ways that we get our media now, it's going to change the way they view television. So, yeah, sitting and actually watching TV live is so foreign to some kids now that they literally don't understand it.
I mean, and to be fair, I'm an old fart compared to some of these kids, but I rarely watch anything live anymore. I have my DVR, and I'll wait 15, 20 minutes just so I can fast forward through the commercials. And on the stuff that's on primetime channels, because I have the Dish Hopper, I'll wait until the next day to watch it, because all I do is push play and tell it to skip commercials, and I don't have to touch the remote again.
Nice.
Which is, yeah, why... It's simpler.
That's why networks and cable is having so much trouble right now keeping customers, because people don't want to pay to watch commercials.
That's why you're also getting such blatant product placement in some things.
True.
But like season 1 of Arrow with all the Microsoft tablets.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of Microsoft in the fucking, what is it, Queen Consolidated. They put a lot of Microsoft there. But yeah, I mean, it's somewhere, I mean, the smarter executives realize that eventually the way we view American television is going to change. It has to adapt. Because at some point, Like, I mean, like Cable One is what we have here, and fucking DirecTV and shit. At some point, they are going to have to do an a la carte system where people buy what channels they actually want. That's where it's heading. Eventually, it's going to happen. They're going to fight it as long as they possibly can because they want to bundle in the 180 fucking channels you don't want to watch with the 23 channels you do want to watch and charge you for all of them. But Netflix and HBO Go and fucking Amazon Prime or Amazon Instant, all of that is leading us to where that's no longer going to be what people are willing to pay for.
We're getting there, but we're still going to be a few years away from that happening just because of the kicking and screaming of people.
They're going to fight it. They're going to fight it as long as they can, but eventually it's going to happen. Because too many kids raised on Netflix, once they're, 15 years from now, kids that are raised on nothing but Netflix will never pay for cable. It's like, oh, you want to give me 225 channels, I want 7 of them. No, thank you. None of those kids coming out of high school and getting jobs are going to go and just fire up a cable package because they're willing to pay $100 a month for a bunch of channels they don't want.
Well, and there's some cool stuff going on where you can tell people are starting to experiment with this. Like, there's a couple of college campuses. I think one is Drexel University, where Comcast has a deal that as part of living in the dorm, they get Comcast TV, but it's not like actual TV. They have a website they can log into and watch whatever they want.
Nice.
So,
as I was saying, yeah, it's going to have to change.
Yeah, well, we've got internet issues before we get to that point, though, too.
Oh, big time.
Net neutrality and bandwidth caps. They're the devil. Hey, you mentioned something real quick.
Bullshit.
I'm going to take us off this topic. You mentioned Queen Consolidated and the fact there's Microsoft stuff in there. Have you been watching Gotham?
I watched the first episode. I haven't seen this week's episode yet.
I will be honest, I have not seen either of them, but I saw a really cool Easter egg on there where I guess they show the cityscape of Gotham, and there's a Queen Consolidated logo on one of the buildings in there. So now everyone's going crazy. Oh my god, are they in the same world?
Oh, nice. I didn't catch it.
It's probably just a simple Easter egg, but I was like, that's really cool.
But it's the little stuff like that as it should be. Yeah, and I can't tell people as quick as you can, go watch Gotham. Get them that hits on the website. Let people know that that show needs to be watched because frickin' it really is. It's what Gotham Central the comic was, where it's not Batman the TV show. It's not when people complained about the Huntress one. What was it? Birds of Prey on the CW, where they were just trying to force feed. Just every single reference had to be a comic book thing, and it's just it was too overdone and overblown. Gotham is quite literally a fucking awesome cop show that just happens to take place in Batman's hometown. Like there's the little Easter eggs, more like Arrow, to where they're not force feeding the geek stuff to you. They're literally just dropping in the little bits here and there, and it's well written, it's well acted. The fucking the production sets are all gorgeous. It's a fun show so far, and the 2 lead actors, I love both of them.
Yeah, it's on my list to get to. I'm kind of meh at the moment.
There's some good violence in the first episode. It's worth checking out. If you watch the first episode, I'm pretty sure it'll immediately make you watch the second one because you'll like it.
Parents die, I assume.
Oh, that's the Bruce Wayne stuff in the first episode is fairly quick and fairly negligible. It has really little to do with the first episode. They use it to set up the introduction of Gordon and his partner.
Okay, I can live with that.
It's not focused on the death of Bruce's parents. It has a lot to do with it, but you spend, I think, there's maybe 5-6 minutes where the kid playing Bruce Wayne is on screen. That's it.
Like
I said, it's not
for more.
the Batman show. It is the James Gordon show.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I need to watch the second episode of that, and I need to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't watched the first episode of that yet either.
The second one's already out, too, on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but I think the way they have it on Hulu is they hold theirs for a week.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And so as the second episode comes out, the first one is available to watch for free. Because, yeah, I'm all free services, man. I got to watch all my stuff on their websites whenever they give them away for free. I can't pay for nothing. As it is, I had to cancel WildStar. My ass is broke.
Oh, no, not WildStar.
Yep. No more WildStar for me. No more video games. It's all Geek till it's done, and then by the time Geek will actually be finished, I should basically be caught up on all my bills. So
that works out all right then.
Yeah. Because right now I don't really have the free time to be playing WildStar anyways. So yeah, it saved me $15 a month. spend my $8 a month on my Netflix, watch my Netflix while I'm flatting, listen to some podcasts while I'm rendering. Pages are getting done. The only thing I'm taking a break for is Inktober.
Inktober. So is that I'm tossing it to you for your news of the week then?
Yeah, that'll work. That's for one of them. Inktober has started. For anybody that's not aware, Jake Parker, this amazing animator who lives in Salt Lake City, has been doing Inktober since, I think, 2009. I guess, if I remember correctly, he actually invented the word and the hashtag. He was the first person that just said, hey, I'm just going to do an ink drawing every day for 31 days for October. I'll call it Inktober. And so, like, literally, if you go to Jake Parker's website, which I think it's Mr. Jake Parker, I'm not sure, let me look it up real quick. Yeah, you go to his website, like, he actually has what he calls the rules of Inktober, what you're supposed to do. He has, you can download images of, the logo that he created for Inktober. Excuse me. Yeah, it's MrJakeParker.com.
Okay.
And then he's got blank sheets that are templates, to where it's got just a black outline and the Inktober catchphrase on it, and then it's just a big white area in the middle that you can actually just print those up and draw on those if you want. So you don't even have to do anything different. But yeah, it's something where literally just every year now, he's done it 4 years in a row. He actually will sell the books too, if I can find someone I just bought, because I found him at Salt Lake City Con, and I bought, there it is, Jake Parker's Inktober. He actually collected a bunch of them from the last couple of years and put it in a book, and it's just
cool.
I mean, gorgeous artwork, just all sorts of fun little robots and stuff. So I mean, the guy's an animator, so he's working on stuff all day long, and then he comes home and just draws this crazy stuff. But yeah, it's gorgeous artwork. It's a total blast to look through his stuff. But yeah, a bunch of artists now. If you go on Twitter, just look up the hashtag Inktober, you'll find a ton. I mean, thousands of people now are doing it, and it's just every day you do an ink drawing. That's basically the only rule. You can do an underlay of pencils if you want to prep it, and then ink on top of it, or you can do just direct inks to paper. So like the first day I did, I finished a Beetlejuice piece that I started in Salt Lake City that was pencils, and then I inked it. And then like last night, this one went up, which I've gotten some pretty good feedback on it. Had a little fun, and I saw some people doing a bunch of really cool Halloween stuff. So I actually took one of the, I think it's the Boris Karloff photos off of the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Frankenstein action. So yeah, it's just, total fun, no real, rhyme or reason to it. You just draw whatever the hell you want. Make sure it's in ink. That's really all there is to it. But yeah, it's a blast. I'm 5 or 4 days in. I got to do today's drawing, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But yeah, it's been fun. Inktober, it is here, and hopefully, along with some of my friends, because I've seen them do it before. Which, let's see, do I have Justin's here? At Lexington last year, Justin Stewart was selling his Inktober book that he took his 2013 Inktobers and actually just put them in like a little pamphlet, and he just sold it at the con for a couple of bucks. And then he's one of the ones, like, he'll do the mix of adding in a little red, so it's not all just black and white artwork. There's some other stuff. But yeah, at Justin3000, Justin3000.com, Justin Stewart, he's got some good stuff too. But yeah, he just put it all together, put it in a booklet. I know Tressa Boland's doing the same thing, and then hopefully if I end up liking mine at the end of it, I'll do the same thing as well and just collect them all into a little, little pamphlet-sized booklet, sell them for $2-3, hopefully. Should be fun.
I think so. That's pretty cool.
I'm liking it so far. I'm 4 drawings in. I've drawn Beetlejuice, Jason Voorhees, Frankenstein, and I did a Spider-Man chibi at work from Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, cool. I saw the Potato Wiz was talking about it on Twitter, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's been doing it so far as well. So yeah, I'll be doing that this year. That's basically my one little break each day is doing ink drawing at work if I get the time, and if not, do them when I come home before I start coloring. Just, it's good practice. I need to get back into practicing because, yeah, I pulled this pen out. It's this beautiful Pentel Pocket Brush ink brush pen that's got these acrylic bristles, and just the ink drips down into it, so it works like an ink brush without having to dip it into anything.
Oh, nice.
And this damn thing had been sitting for so long that when I took it to Salt Lake City and tried to use it, it was basically just gray brushing the page because the ink had dried out and was completely gone. So yeah, I was like, I need to put some new ink in here and get some fucking damn drawing done because I'm so out of practice that my tools are dying, and that's just no good.
Now you fix it. Problem solved.
Indeed. Inktober, people. Check it out.
Did you also want to bring up your sad news?
Okay, yeah, I'll do my sad news and then my kind of good crazy news. So the sad news
I've
is
got
that
something
Marvel...
will tie into your sad news on cancellations.
Okay. The sad news is that apparently Marvel just doesn't want my money anymore. So adding to this year's cancellation, because they're already canceling New Warriors, they're already canceling Superior Foes of Spider-Man, now they've decided they're going to cancel X-Factor, the book they just fucking brought back. Peter David has been writing X-Factor basically, I think, since damn near issue 72 of the original series. It's been like, 15 years of Peter David's X-Factor. It was, the old team with Havoc and all them. They introduced Jamie Madrox, and then the book got canceled. He wrote a great detective story with Madrox in it. Used that to turn it into X-Factor Investigations. Wrote that for like 10 years, and then that book got canceled. And then this year they brought it back as a new team that works for a company called Serval, which was basically the concept of what if Google had so much money that they could do whatever they want. What if they actually wanted their own superhero team? And so it's a superhero team that works for this company's interest, but only because they've proven to the superheroes that what they're doing is good and in the best interest of humanity. And so you've got a bunch of X-Factor characters, Polaris, Quicksilver, Warlock, there's all these different characters working for a company that's basically Google. If they've gone insane and started getting like military contracts and stuff, that's what Serval is in the world. And it's been really cool. They've actually done some storylines with Quicksilver. They've actually had character growth with Quicksilver. And how the fuck does that happen? Nobody makes him grow as a character except Peter David. Peter David writes the best annoying asshole Quicksilver ever, but still makes him relatable. But yeah, it's a great book, and yeah, I'm pissed. It's one more book that I love that they're canceling. So it's 3 titles this year that Marvel's just not getting any more of my money. Yeah, and because I'm broke and the bills are piling up, I added them to the list of I think it was 7 titles that I had to cancel on my pull list, and most of them were Marvel. So yeah, $3.99 a piece, canceling a bunch of stories, and they can't keep an artist on a book for more than a week. Yeah, Marvel's not getting as much of my money anymore. I'll stick with Image.
So next thing is being canceled.
Charlie Adlard books, artists that have been on books for over 100 issues straight. It's nice.
So this Bleeding Cool just confirmed this story that Fantastic Four will be canceled in 2015 with a triple-sized issue 645. And there was some rumors that came out, I guess it was earlier last week, Bleeding Cool had come out and said that there was some heartburn between Marvel and Fox Studios about promotion of the movie, and that Marvel had threatened to just cancel the book because they didn't like the direction things were going. So it looks like that might be what is in fact happening, is that Marvel is canceling the Fantastic Four comic rather than providing any promotion towards the Fox Studios film. There's rumors that in the Marvel offices and stuff, even like posters and stuff for the Fantastic Four have been pulled down.
Wow.
Lest they give them any news. CBR, Comic Book Resource, also confirmed it from a different source, saying that that Fantastic Four will be canceled. There's a letter saying sketch card artists are being forbidden to use Fantastic Four characters, and it was made public. Diamond Select Toys.
Wow! For the Marvel sketch card series.
Yep. Diamond Select Toys has confirmed they're not able to make any more Fantastic Four toys at the moment.
Wow, they're putting their foot down.
And then I guess Hatchet, the catalog, the book catalog Hatchet has information on the final run where they said the end is forever. Witness the final act of the first family of the Marvel Universe, and it references collecting Fantastic Four 622 through 644 and the triple-sized final issue 645.
Wow.
And if you look at when this would line up, early 2015, it's going to be right before the Fantastic Four movie comes out. It has been put and it's been pushed back. So this reads to me as a giant fuck you to Fox Studios.
It does, and it's weird too because honestly, I mean, I talked about this when they were prepping for Amazing Spider-Man 2. And everybody's like, well, Superior Spider-Man, even if you like it, it doesn't matter because they're going to change the story back and they're going to put Peter back in the suit. And I always kind of wondered, why is Marvel doing that? If you're telling a good story, why do you give a shit how much money Sony makes? Because Marvel's not getting a cut of that film. Like,
I think they're going to get royalties of some kind.
Well, whatever, but I mean, still, they're not pulling in millions like they do on the Avengers and all of their films. So I never understood why they would really cooperate with the company when what they really want is to get those rights back from their company, from the characters. And I guess now we're seeing what happens if Marvel decides to actually go the other way and say, you know what? Fuck this other company. We're not going to help them for shit, and we're going to see if their movie bombs.
I have a twofold theory on why they help promote Spider-Man. Number one, it's Spider-Man, who's arguably one of the most popular Marvel characters and pretty much the flagship character
He is
in a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
And number two, because they realize that when the bubble bursts, doesn't matter who puts out the shitty superhero movie, they're all getting painted with that same brush. Now, that seems to go away now that they're shitting all over Fantastic Four, it would appear.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, because I wondered that when that was coming out because they had made such a big stink about putting Doc Ock in Peter's body, and Superior Spider-Man was a totally different take on the character, and people were freaking out because Spider-Man was killing people. But it was all really good stories by Dan Slott, so I was loving it. And then it's like, well, no, the movie's coming out, so they're going to shove Peter back in the body. It's like, well, you don't really have to. Like, Sony's going to put the movie out no matter what. It's just a question of whether or not Marvel really wants to help them.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with, and it is a little sad though. I mean, it's the first family of comics. Like the FF was the very first super team. That really was Marvel's flagship book. I mean, that is the book that started Marvel Comics.
The FF has not sold well in years. Is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Even with good creative teams and stuff on there too.
Yeah, because I read some of the Hickman stuff, I read some of the other stories, and I picked up a trade here or there. But yeah, I've never had. Honestly, I don't think I've ever had the FF on my pull list. So it's not like I'm the biggest fan of the Fantastic Four, but it's one of those books where a good writer, you have a family dynamic and superpowers and a super genius. You can basically write whatever fucking story you want and fit the FF into it, and answer whatever questions you create in different ways. That if you let your imagination go nuts, the FF is amazing. But yeah, apparently they're not pulling down the numbers they want. It is scary to think of them canceling the book though.
Well, I imagine it's a typical Marvel cancellation where they will.
Oh yeah, it'll come back
in the short term and put all of their teammates on different things. I guess I'm not reading the Avengers books right now, but I guess there's a story where the Invisible Woman is actually on the Avengers team. It's a storyline called Time Runs Out, according to the Bleeding Cool article. That sees Sue Storm as a member of the Avengers team hunting down the Illuminati, specifically her now bearded husband Reed Richards, who is in hiding. So the seeds have been there to break up the FF, it would appear. Well, I guess I should say Fantastic Four, because the FF is still the Future Foundation, I believe.
Yeah, I think anytime they actually say FF now, it's Future Foundation, which I like that team too, because when they had Parker on the team, because he took Johnny's spot. Because Johnny Storm was dead. Oh wait, no, he wasn't. They just closed the door on him in the negative zone and assumed that he was dead. That was one of the worst deaths in comic books ever. They didn't actually show him die. Everybody else that dies in comics, at least they die and they get resurrected. Johnny's ass got left the fuck behind. He has a reason to be pissed off at fucking Ben Grimm.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Yeah, they'll split them up, put them on a bunch of different teams, and they probably another smackdown of the Illuminati wouldn't be a bad thing. They should get Hulk to join whatever team is running around smacking down the Illuminati. Pretty sure he still don't like those guys very much, no matter what he says.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some butthurt feelings there.
Yeah, they did toss him through a wormhole, send him to an incorrect planet, and then send him in a spaceship that ended up causing the death of his wife. And what he thought was the death of his unborn child, but that was wrong. But still, he had a bad day, and it was all the Illuminati's fault.
It's true. And rumor has it that's still the next Hulk movie, if they do one, would be World War Hulk in the lead up to it, but God only knows.
Man, if they could actually do a World War Hulk movie, the cartoon was like a kind of like 75% of the book, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And it didn't cover half, well, yeah, I guess not 75%, but it didn't cover most of the storyline that was in the comics. The comics were amazing. Greg Pak, that's probably the best. I mean, I love Peter David. He's one of my favorite writers ever, but I think Planet Hulk might be the best Hulk story that's ever been told. Hulk growing up, or landing on a planet where he's basically learning gladiatorial skills as a slave. Like, that's just some good shit. It's basically Spartacus, but goddamn it, when you put Hulk in the role of Spartacus, it makes for a much better story.
Oh, don't disagree. Speaking of Marvel flicks, the rumor is still floating around that we'll get the trailer for Age of Ultron with Interstellar on November 9th. I hope that's true. If that does not end up being the case, though, it has been confirmed that with the Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray and DVD on December 9th, I believe, there
I
is
thought it
going
was
to be...
November 19th was the Guardians Blu-ray.
I'm seeing December 9th on this article from Geek Tyrant that I'm looking at. But there is a rumor also that with the Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray release, there will be some kind of Age of Ultron special feature included, be it an extended trailer or a long clip or something like that. In fact, I thought I'd seen it confirmed somewhere, but I can't see it confirmed in this story.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. Oh, yeah, on Blu-ray.com it says December 9th.
Okay, I rephrased. To give an extra boost to the Blu-ray sales for Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel is adding an exclusive sneak peek at Avengers Age of Ultron. Doesn't say what it is, but there is going to be something on that Blu-ray.
Yeah, and then the one article I saw on it, some people were actually mad because apparently the sneak peek going on there is going to get rid of whatever possible Marvel one-shot was going to be added. So apparently there's no Marvel one-shot. The only thing that's going to be additional, other than just Guardians extra footage stuff and other special features for the actual film, the only added thing is going to be the preview. But yeah, I don't think that's really going to slow people down from buying it. The Marvel one-shots are fun and stuff, but I got no problem, picking up that Blu-ray the day it hits the market just so I can see a little sneak peek at Avengers 2.
A lack of Marvel one-shot is not going to make me not buy Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's be honest here, guys.
Yeah, that might be the first Blu-ray I play so much that it gets burned through and I can't play it anymore.
Well, it probably comes with a digital copy too, so you just redeem the digital copy and you can stream it forever.
There you go. Yeah, it looks like they're doing the whole. You can get the big bundle, the Blu-ray, 3D Blu-ray, and digital copy all in one box. Coming from Amazon for $24.99.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all. Damn, I still need to buy Thor 2 and Cap 2.
Yeah, I got both of those right now.
I think I know what I'm getting myself for Christmas. Marvel movies.
Speaking of other Marvel projects, at New York Comic Con, they unveiled the logo for the new Daredevil series. Ooh, it looks like comic lettering. Who cares?
Can we file that under news that's not news?
Yeah. The cool thing in that one is they actually did also release the press release summary of it, and it's exactly what we expected it to be.
The origin
it still looks like it'll be fun.
Murdoch is Daredevil?
Yes. Let's see. For the first time, Charlie Cox, Debran Wool, Eldon Henson, and Vincent D'Onofrio will meet with the fans at New York Comic Con. Let's see. All fans who participate in this signing receive an exclusive Marvel's Daredevil production concept art poster drawn by Joe Quesada. According to them, Daredevil follows the journey of Matt Murdock, who was blinded as a young boy but imbued with extraordinary senses, now fighting against injustice by day as a lawyer and by night as the superhero Daredevil in the modern-day Hell's Kitchen, New York City.
Very cool. But yeah, when they announced that I saw a news story that they lit out the logo. I was like, yeah, that's news. That's not news.
Okay, so here's the real interesting.
The Daredevil logo looks like the Daredevil logo.
The real interesting thing in here, though, is as you read further, it says Marvel's Daredevil is produced by Marvel Television in association with ABC Studios. So, are we going to get crossover with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Possible.
That would be cool.
But yeah, they're going to use whatever production stuff they have that's owned by Disney, so just because it's a Netflix show doesn't mean they can't have, some hook into ABC with it. It just won't be airing on ABC.
That's how if you want
to talk logos, I didn't read the new Thor because I'm not a huge Thor fan, and I don't care that it's a girl now. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. But the fucking logo treatment for the new Thor, it's almost worth picking up the first issue just because the logo is so cool. I don't know how the fuck nobody's ever done this before, but the new Thor logo, Mjolnir is the O, and the handle sticking out of it is the crossbar for the H. It's gorgeous. It's simple, and it makes absolute sense as soon as you see it. And the first time I saw it, I was like, how the fuck has nobody ever done this before? Which I'm not sure nobody's ever done it before. Thor's been around for quite some time, so it's possible that it's been done that way before, but I've never seen it, and I think it's gorgeous. It's probably the best new logo I've seen in a comic in a couple of years. It's very cool looking.
I'm trying to remember it now. Oh, here's the cover art on Time magazine.
Yeah, it's just the face. But then You got the T and then the H, and the H is missing a crossbar, and there's no actual O because the hammer Mjolnir is your O on its side, and then the crossbar is the handle is the crossbar for the H. It's a gorgeous logo.
Anyone watching live, we just pulled it up for you to see, and I just saw popping up on the Google Hangouts Q&A thing. We've got Brian Breno. He's just saying hi to all of us. So thanks for watching, Brian. Feel free to.
Hola, Brian. Because the Peanut Gallery chat room has been utterly devoid of human contact today, people.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I did have one other bit of Marvel television news, and this has me excited.
A little too quiet.
It has been
wrath. A little too wrath.
Did you see that Tim DeKay has been cast to play a role on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Who?
You might not know who that is off the top of your head. If you watch White Collar, Tim DeKay is Agent Peter Burke.
Okay, the good guy FBI cop?
The good guy FBI cop. Let me bring the picture up for those that aren't familiar. Yeah, I think he's a really good actor. I enjoy his
I don't know
role.
his name, but yeah, that dude is a great actor.
Yes, he is going to be playing a role of Senator Maynard Ward on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you hear the name Ward, yes, that's because he is Grant Ward's older brother.
Nice. Okay, I was going to say Maynard Ward. I'm trying to run through every Marvel character in my head. Like, I don't know any character named Maynard Ward.
If you remember, what was the episode, The Well, I think it was, in Season 1 I'd forgotten about, that showed all these flashbacks to Agent Ward's past. It's, you find out that Maynard, brain fart. Ward's path to the dark side began with his sadistic, abusive older brother named Maynard, who we met in that episode. Maynard is the one that forced him to abuse their other, even younger brother. Remember the kid down the well?
Yeah, because they talked all about Ward's basically growing up being all tortured and stuff.
Right.
I thought one of the episodes he said he killed his brother though.
The little brother.
Or maybe so the older brother forced him to kill the younger brother.
The older brother is still out there, I guess, and the older brother now is a U.S. senator in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That makes sense. A torturous prick becomes a politician.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
There's some. Oh, I can't say that because you haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. yet, so I won't reveal that.
Yeah, I haven't seen this week yet, so slow down. Yeah, spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! I won't do it. Brian has said in the Q&A that he's Brazilian.
Aha! If he's watching this all the way down in Brazil, then I'm sorry that they don't have better entertainment down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's whatever time it is in Brazil, maybe at 10 a.m. in the morning at this very moment, there isn't any fights to watch on TV. Because you got to figure, there's probably a hell of a lot of really good local fight action to watch in Brazil.
Sure. So I had a couple other things I'd set aside, and because we haven't had an update on The Rock lately on this show, I did want to let everyone know The Rock is joining a new movie. I don't know if you guys have heard this. The Rock will be starring in the Baywatch film. And I, for one, find this absolutely hilarious that they're making a movie out of Baywatch after, God, it was a terrible series. It really was. It was just god-awful, and that's the best way of putting it.
Well, I found there actually is a way that you can even go back now and watch Baywatch, and it's really interesting.
I'm afraid to ask.
You turn on your Pandora or your damn it, what's the one I actually use and I can't think of the fucking name of it? How sad is that? Your Spotify? Yeah. And you just put in 80s rock, and then once that's rocking and rolling, you just start Baywatch and you hit mute. It's fucking spectacular. It ain't nothing but just boobs running down the beach, man. That's all that show was, and they did it very, very well. Yes, been brief.
None ever. None whatsoever, excuse me.
Yeah, you never have to hear any talking. That's a show for watching, not listening to.
Yeah, so to confirm the fact that he was in here, The Rock posted a photo of himself on Instagram on a jet ski with the following caption: "This is my beach, bitch. Rumors are true. We're making Baywatch the movie. Edgy, raunchy, and hopefully funny as hell. Cue slow motion running on the beach. Hashtag who needs mouth to mouth. Hashtag Red Shorts be hugging a brother."
Nice. So The Rock is now going to be David Hasselhoff and Black Adam.
Which means he could technically be Nick Fury then.
Fucking Rock.
Because the Hoff was Nick Fury.
That's true. Yeah, you can't stop The Rock. The Rock can do whatever he wants. It's just his world, and we're just living in it. It's amazing. I love that guy.
We love you, Dwayne Johnson. Oh, I see we've got Jay Webb in the chat room. I'd missed it. He said, "Afternoon, fellas," and goes, "Woohoo, Baywatch."
Damn right.
Who doesn't love a little TNA action? And I don't mean the wrestling group. Let's see. I have a couple more things left. In the good news of the week, I guess, Disney XD has ordered a second season of Star Wars Rebels before Season 1 has even premiered.
Nice. That is good news.
The early buzz I've heard is that Star Wars Rebels is really good. The trailers and previews I'd seen have me really intrigued. I'm just ready to love Star Wars again, I think is what it is. I'm hoping this makes me love Star Wars yet again.
So am I, and you'll find out why when we get to our What Have We Been Into segment.
Ooh, that's a nice tease. We'll be there soon, though, guys. We got a couple other stories to run through, and then we're probably going to wrap up. I don't have a ton of extra stuff in here. What was the other things I had, though? Let's see. This is a real quick one. Surprised me. DC moved 3.5 million comic books in the month of September.
Damn.
I guess Future's End is a really big deal, and people are really psyched about the 2D and the 3D motion covers they're putting out on stuff. So I imagine you had a lot of people buying multiple copies to get the 3D cover, because there was probably a bunch of retailers did some deal. You buy 3 copies of it, get the motion cover. I don't know.
Hell, I think the way I understood it was all the covers came out as the motion covers, and it was actually harder to get the regular cover. So I mean, I know that I only have 2 books that I pick up on my pull list that are DC, and both of them came with the little lenticular cover.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that too much. It reminds me of 90s.
You got the Nightwing, which was like the Soviet Union. So you put forth, that costume, and then Batman. See if I can get it to work. You have it's either Bruce standing there in the cape, or you have all the Batman behind him.
That's cool.
Make the clones. I mean, yeah, they're both. I mean, when you just look at them, the artwork that they did is gorgeous, and the way it actually works to where the images transfer is great. But yeah, it's one of those things you pick it up. It's like, oh wow, it's 1994 again. It's like I'm surprised they're not wrapped in chrome. It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it certainly felt very 90s to me. I have 2 other stories left. One I think is just really cool. Do you remember who Jerry Conway is, who wrote in Spider-Man for a while? What he's infamous for doing?
Jerry Conway, he killed Gwen, didn't he?
He killed Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
In 2015, he's coming back to do a Spider-Man miniseries for Marvel.
Nice.
I don't know much else other than the fact that he said it's scheduled for late winter, early spring 2015. I'm excited. I want to see more Jerry Conway Spider-Man. Gimme. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that. Jerry Conway is, if he wants to do some more Spider-Man, I'm all for it.
Gimme. And then, this is just kind of my what the fuck news of the week, is that Adam Sandler has signed a deal with Netflix to make 4 movies exclusive to them, and I'm just wondering, how does he keep making movies? They're so shitty lately.
Because there is a percentage of college douchebags that have their, polo shirt collars popped up that will go out in a pack of 14 of them, and before they go out to date rape people, they go see an Adam Sandler film. I'm pretty sure that's his demographic.
That was pretty harsh, but at the same time, probably
it's
not.
Adam Sandler inhaling vaporized vodka and then date rape. That's the projected audience that he's going for.
So I guess here's his reason that Sandler agreed to work with Netflix, according to his press release. He goes, "When these fine people came to me with an offer to make 4 movies for them, I immediately said yes for one reason and one reason only. Netflix rhymes with wet chicks."
That sounds like Adam Sandler reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. For every fucking grown-ups too, we do get the occasional 51st dates. Like he still has good films in him. It's just it's hit and miss. I mean,
he's just gotten the formula is easy, and he can make a crap ton of money. I think is part of the problem. Grown Ups 2 was crap, but how many people went and spent money to go see it? They made crap tons of money.
Yeah, I mean, and his company, Happy Madison, is smart enough to know that they can do a formulaic fucking romantic comedy, and if he can get Drew Barrymore to join him in it, they're going to make $40 million. And so if he can shoot that film for 10, everybody gets paid. So it's one of those simple things. Like, I mean, Adam Sandler's not out there to rock the world and fucking create, mind-changing art. The guy's making funny movies, and apparently loving what he does. But then, every once in a while we get, funny people where he fucking, attacks a script and, really says something. So, I mean, if we get 4 more films from Netflix from Adam Sandler, I'm down for it, because probably one of those 4 will be a fucking fantastic movie. The other 3 might be funny shit, but, they're good background noise. It's not going to be, Academy fodder, but, I'll bet you one of them will be damn good.
That's quite possible. I hope so. I mean, I just don't want more shitty stuff out there. And that is all I had for news this week. I'm sure there's shit I missed, and I'm sure you guys will beat me up and let me know.
We got my crazy thing, too, which is apparently Robert Downey Jr., in talks for Iron Man 4, says that basically he wants to do it if they'll get Mel Gibson to direct it.
Okay, so I actually saw what spawned this off. He was doing an interview.
Yeah, did you read the article?
Yeah, it's not inaccurate, but it's not accurate either. He was doing an interview talking about Judge and some other stuff, and they asked him about Iron Man 4, and he goes, well, I don't know if I want to do it, and since he is an advocate for Mel Gibson, based off of Gibson also advocated for him to get a second chance, he says, well, what if Mel Gibson were to do it? Would you do it then? He goes, well, I guess I'd think about it, or something like that. So it wasn't really him going out there and saying, if Mel Gibson does it, I'm in.
It's not his negotiating tactic, but it was a good article.
It was, yeah. So it's not exactly right.
Yeah, it's the way they frame stuff in the media, but yeah, it makes you read the article, and the article was really good. Because he talks about the fact that he's almost 50. It's a question of longevity with the character. The fact that he did get injured on the set of Iron Man 3. So, I mean, he's looking at all sorts of different issues. He's got 2 little kids at home now instead of just the one older kid that he used to have. And so, he's got other stuff to take part of. He got over $50 million for the last Avengers film. It's not like he needs to work. He can do whatever he wants at this point. You got to figure there's never going to be a bill that he can't pay anymore. And exactly. So it's really a question of, does he really want to do it? Which, you got to figure, like, 3, he got injured, but I think he really enjoyed doing that film because he was on with Shane Black, who he loved working with on Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which was part of his comeback. And so the idea of, hey, if it's something weird and different, like a Mel Gibson-directed Iron Man film, imagine how fucking crazy good that could be. Because we all, everybody in Hollywood wants to be, mad at Mel Gibson because, he gets drunk and says sweet tits and slaps people and hates the Jews. Mm-hmm. But he can direct a fucking movie. I mean, nobody can argue that. He can direct the shit out of a movie. And I would love to see a Mel Gibson Iron Man film.
It'd be interesting. I don't think he's doing any more Iron Man unless it's part of the Avengers, though. Sadly.
Yeah, I don't really see us getting another one. I see an Avengers 3 being probably the end of the RDJ Tony Stark. But I'm thinking, I mean, the way Kevin Feige's talked about it, I really think that they're going to end up trying to do like a James Bond thing. Tony Stark is going to be the James Bond of the Marvel Universe. Where you can get
something like that before.
Yeah, where you get something between 3 to 5 movies with one actor, and then that actor pops out, and you get somebody a little bit younger, and they come in and they play Tony Stark for 10 to 15 years. Because, I mean, and Robert Downey Jr. talked about that too, is like when you sign up to do one of these films, just one of them, it's basically a 2-year commitment. From the time they go into pre-production till the time they're done with the press tour, because, I mean, these big ones, like, they're doing press tours and they're making these actors fly all over the world. I mean, it's not like they do a premiere in New York, a premiere in LA, and they're done. These motherfuckers are being sent to Sydney and Shanghai and Hong Kong and fucking Moscow. Like, their press tour is a grueling part of their job contract, which it's not like they don't get paid for it, but they put in some serious fucking work once the movie's done.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, the idea that if you sign up for 4 films, you just signed away 8 years of your life, that's a goddamn military contract, people.
Yeah, but it pays a lot more than a military contract.
It definitely does. Yeah, it's making me real sad now thinking that I have 8 years to the Navy and I didn't get paid what Robert Downey Jr. got paid for 1 day of any one Iron Man film. But that's a different fucking cake there. We're not going to talk about that one.
No, it's not. But looking at the time, it's about time for us to start wrapping things up, and we do that in our traditional way. We're going to share with you, our great audience, what we've been getting into, what we've been doing, Geek Watch the last week, and for me, I've been playing Disney Infinities 2.0 still because it is really fun to randomly just drop Rocket Raccoon into New York City and blow things up, and then be like, oh, I'm bored with this, and then drop in Captain America and be a hero. It's surprisingly fun for a kid's game. I don't know how best to describe it. It's just really fun. I've been playing that in Diablo 3 a lot, and I've just been killing things on there. Wow, what else have I been doing? I've been getting caught up on the new TV season. I still haven't watched any of Gotham, so I'll take my beating on that from folks. I'm caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which has been surprisingly interesting. Constantine's starting up soon. Hell, I've just been watching way too much TV, in all honesty, guys. I mean, that's really all I've been doing lately is too much TV and too much video games. And playing X-Wing the miniature game, because I went and played Thursday night. I'll be playing in a tournament next week, so that's why we'll probably only be on the show for like 15, 20 minutes.
Stupid X-Wing.
Just long enough to check the box that I was on the show to keep my perfect attendance going. Well, that's really what I've been getting
Perfect
into.
attendance? You've missed episodes before. I'm telling the teacher, you're lying.
Who's the teacher?
I don't know. I'll tell Adahay, he'll cut your ass.
He probably will. But what have you been getting
back
into?
for a one-day cutting tour.
Yeah, exactly. What have you been getting into, Anthony? Other than bummed about X Factor getting canceled.
Yeah. Bummed about X Factor. Reading some good comics. And yeah, to add to the fucking pain, Michael Avon Oeming's Victories, number 15, came out, which is the last issue. So it wasn't canceled. That's where the story ends. So it sucks. It's the guy who was the artist on Powers, which is coming to TV soon. Great book. It was him writing and drawing. So it was all his ideas, and he just created a world with some weird, fucking crazy-ass superheroes. And then, yeah, that one came to an end. Really good book. I'm assuming there's going to be a nice, probable, oversized hardcover. They'll have all 15 issues in it collected. I would highly recommend it to anybody that's a superhero fan, especially anybody that's a fan of Powers' artwork, or what is it, Mice Templar? I think it's the other book that Michael Avon Oeming's done. And he did some of the Guardians of the Galaxies comics, so a lot of people might have seen him on there. Great artwork, just crazy character designs. There's a bad guy in the book called the Jackal, who's like a mix between, I guess, like the Joker and the Punisher. Like, just batshit crazy dude that has this weird jackal face, but great character, so total fun character to read about. East of West is probably still the best, weirdest comic in comics right now, and also one of the most gorgeous. Who is it? Tragoda, the guy that does the artwork on this. It's literally, you could rip out the word balloons, have no idea what's going on at all, and you would thoroughly enjoy this comic by just looking at it. It's fucking spectacularly beautiful. And the colors and stuff as well on top of his pencils. And then they did a thing, I didn't know this was coming out, saw it at my shop and picked it up. The Whedon three-way. So if you've ever wanted to get into a three-way with Joss Whedon, here's your chance. It's $1. I can pull this sucker out, because, yeah. Let's see if I can show you here. Motherfucker is thick. It is 3 full comic books. You get a Buffy comic, you get an Angel comic, and you get a Firefly comic. All in one book for $1. If you like any one of these, go get it. If you like comics, go get it. I can't think anybody wouldn't enjoy this book. It gives you an idea of kind of what's happening in the Buffy universe starting into, I think they're doing a season 10 now. I think they've done 8, 9, and this is the start of 10. It's the weird world where they're bringing magic back. And then, of course, Angel from telling the story from a different point of view, dealing with the same type of stuff. And then, you get to see Firefly. And this one's awesome because basically it takes place directly after the film. So you get to find out what's happening. You see Zoe dealing with the death of Wash. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, fuck you.
Yeah, I've been reading the Firefly series. I'm a couple issues behind. Really good. Same with the Buffy series. So that's a great way to get people in for paying $1 to get 3 books, basically.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody that wouldn't like this, and if you don't like it, hand it to one of your friends, they'll like it. But go fucking buy one at your local shop. It's a great book.
Yeah, you're only out $1 if you don't like it, so
yeah, and
give it a try.
I can't imagine anybody that wouldn't like it. At least one of those 3 stories in there are great. Coloring comics, I'm still working on Geek, trying to hit that 100-page mark. I'm getting closer and closer, but I'm not there yet. And then I got myself a little toy. I got the Cabin in the Woods visual companion,
Oh,
which
nice.
this is basically like early Christmas for me. I didn't even realize it when I ordered it. I just ordered it because I wanted basically like the artwork and the production stuff. This comes with the original screenplay by Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard with notes in it. And so you can actually read through everything that was in the original screenplay and see what stuff they changed and what stuff they didn't. And
That's
I mean,
cool.
yeah, almost all the actual like sound bites, all the great quotes are in here. But yeah, you can see like where there's little spots where some scenes were extended, some scenes were shortened, and then they also have a lot of the production set up for the like how they were going to do certain scenes, how they're going to do like here's the unicorn attack, like here's how they rigged the guy up and
cool.
made the blood spurt out of him, like it's actual the special effects technical drawings. Gorgeous book. So that's a fun one. I've been reading through that, and it's got a lot to read in it, so I'm basically just getting started on it. But because people kept harping on me, you, fucking the Jedi Ross, fucking basically every single person I know that's a Star Wars fan,
I would never.
finally broke down,
Oh my god.
and I got me the graphic novel collection of the Thrawn trilogy. So I'm maybe 100 pages in, so not even done with the first book. And yeah, it's fucking spectacular. The artwork is gorgeous. I'm digging on the storyline so far.
Have you met Grand Admiral Thrawn yet?
Oh yeah, I mean Thrawn's like a couple pages in, like he's right near
remember.
the beginning.
It's been a while
Yeah.
since I read the graphic novel, so.
Yeah, I read the introduction by Mike Barron, and then yeah, you got it's 9 years after the Battle of Yavin, so the second destruction of the Death Star. After the destruction of the Death Star, and then the storyline starts on that page, and then yeah, the first page they show the Empire coming out of Lightspeed, and then that's the 2 pages later they show Thrawn for the first time. And yeah, it's a very cool story. I'm digging it so far. Like I say, yeah, I'm like 1/6 of the way into it, so I got a lot of reading to go between that and my Cabin in the Woods book. So you know, bathroom breaks in between coloring. I'm getting a lot of reading done.
Thrawn's a bad man.
And so far he is, and he's intelligent too. What I'm liking so far is that, like, a lot of what they did, in the Empire characters, there was basically a bunch of yes men surrounding Vader, and then, like, if anybody made a bad decision, like, nobody really dealt with it. Fucking Thrawn they wrote him as a character that really tactically thinks out everything. So he never ever goes for step ABC. His plans are always 7, 8 layers deep for directing somebody to do something that he wants or trying to get some target. And yeah, I'm loving the character so far. He's a weird looking, big, tall, blue dude.
Yeah, he's the smartest dude in the room. I mean, that's always the case with Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Nice. And yeah, I'm digging it though. It is fun. It's seeing Luke, Han, and Leia, and Lando, and a lot of the characters that you're so used to, and the artwork is it's that really good mix of, like, it never looks like Harrison Ford, but it does look like Han Solo. And so
Right.
it's that hard middle ground that some artists can hit in comics when they're doing licensed properties and others can't. And so far, for everything I've seen in this book, like, you never don't feel like the characters are who they're meant to be. So yeah, I love when an artist can hit that point, because it's a really tough thing to do, and I know doing likenesses, I've tried it before, and it's just a pain in the ass when I was doing my illustration stuff in school, trying to do likenesses of people, like for political cartoons or whatever. It's a skill that is really, really hard to learn if you can't come about it naturally. And so when people are doing it, panel by panel and hitting it in a comic book, especially when, I mean, God, how long ago did these come out? Like, it was a while. So, like, whoever the artist on this book, which I guess I could list off the names, but there's some damn good artwork in here that's just impressive as hell.
Yeah, it's an impressive. I really, really enjoyed it. Dark Horse knew what they were doing. That was the best way to do it too. Was to. It's fantastic. I'm babbling, I realize.
Yeah, Heir to the Empire. So the first book I'm in, Pencils and Inks by Olivier Fontaine and Fred Blanchard. Art assist by Vincent Ureta. Colors by Isabelle Ribeiro. Lettering Ellie DeVille. And yeah, the colors on this are spectacular as well. There's a lot of pages where there's some seriously dark blacks, but then the colorists went in there and did these nice little reflective surface highlights and reflective surface coloring. And of course, anytime you got a good colorist and there's lightsabers involved, you get some spectacular artwork. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
only thing, honestly, the only thing I don't like about it is that they shrunk it down to the size of like an actual book and not a graphic novel. I would love to see this reprinted at fucking like 10.5 by 11, or or not 10,
That'd
like
be
10
nice.
and a half by 14. Like a nice oversized book of this would be even better. But yeah, that's my only complaint, is that I wish the artwork was larger. That's literally, it's so much fun. And yeah, I'm digging it. I can't wait to get to the end so I can actually talk to people about it. I feel like I'll know a lot more about this Star Wars when I'm done with it.
Oh yeah, you will. That book makes you learn a lot, because that is, in many people's mind, the Thrawn trilogy is basically episodes 7, 8, and 9 before they decided to do 7, 8, and 9.
I would just play, yeah, to me it's always been Dark Empire, because that was the only book that I read, which also was Dark Horse, where you had Luke becoming the secret apprentice to Emperor Palpatine, when in that alternate universe you found out the Emperor wasn't dead.
Right.
Which, that one was the fun one.
So, a question for you in the chat room. Jay is asking, Bach, do you collect Pop Vinyl figures too?
I collect the movie villains. So I started collecting Pop Vinyl figures, but when you look at the website, it's an undaunting task to try to think that you're going to start collecting them all, and I definitely don't have the fucking money to collect them all. So I decided to do a subset of a subset. So I have, from the movie ones, or I guess it's not technically all movie ones, but so far it's just the movie ones. I have 1, 2, and 3, which is Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, and then I have Pennywise the Clown. So I want to get, like, they have Sam from Trick or Treat. They have Billy in 2 different versions from Saw, which is the actual puppet, not Jigsaw himself, but the puppet Billy. They have one where he's the plain white face, and one where he's blood splattered. But yeah, I want to get, like, they have Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses. I want to get basically the bad guys from movies. That'll be the collection, or I guess not even just technically the bad guys, like the slasher monsters. So the really vicious ones. That's what I want, because it seems so counterintuitive, but they look great when they're these little cute kind of bobblehead guys, and they're vicious killers. I don't know. I love it. But yeah, those are the Pop figures I'm collecting.
Yeah, they do have an interesting look to them. I only collect a few of them. I want to get the Firefly ones when those come out. I think the other 2 I have is Agent Coulson and the Master Chief.
Nice.
And
yeah, the Firefly ones do look good.
Oh, I know, man. It's a problem. I don't need to get addicted to something else. That's the problem right now. I really don't.
Yeah, it's just all taking that money out of the pocket, man. But hey, Marvel keeps canceling all the books I read. I'm dropping other titles because I'm sick of them. Yeah, maybe I'll just turn it all into Pop Vinyl figure money.
Yeah, I mean, they've dropped at least 3 books you're interested in. That's $12 right there. That's a Pop figure.
$4 a piece, man. It adds up. God damn.
Yeah,
comics are getting expensive.
That's the problem. But I think
almost everything from Marvel is $4 now. I don't think they have a book that is $2.99 anymore.
Well, I think DC's about that way too. They certainly drew the line at $2.99, didn't they?
Yeah, they did it for a whopping 3 months before they launched the New 52.
Yeah, exactly. In the chat room, Jay had said, "Awesome, man! I want that Jason Voorhees one. I just got Judge Dredd and RoboCop, and I have a buddy picking me up the Unmasked Batman."
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Unmasked Batman's a Target exclusive, I think.
Nice. I've seen the RoboCop one. I haven't seen the Judge Dredd. I have to go look at that one.
I haven't either.
The Voorhees one is great. To make Jason Voorhees look a little like a mongoloid, the Pop figures have just big round eyes, but they did one in solid black, and the other one looks like the eyelids half closed, and so it makes him look a little mongoloidish, because they didn't tilt his head or anything or crush his face underneath the mask, because it's it's a big solid block head, which all the Pop figures have. So yeah, the Jason one, it looks really cute. Really cute homicidal maniac, mongoloid, unkillable death machine. Jason Voorhees.
Death Machine.
That's right, I'm Jason Voorhees, bitch. I will slow walk all over your ass. Doesn't matter how fast you run.
Damn Skippy. But I think, guys, looking at the time, we are running a little over, so this is probably going to wrap us up for today. Don't worry, all 3 of us will be back next week for at least a few minutes. We'll have a Naki story to start things out. I'm sure keep your fingers crossed we get an update on Tim Tom, because I love these Tim Tom stories, and it's like birth control for me, because I'm like, there's no reason not to have a kid. I don't want to have a Tim Tom.
And we can be pretty sure that Naki's going to have a whole lot of sausage stories.
Yeah, she was at Sausage Fest, so the jokes write themselves, guys. Tune in next week to hear the report from Sausage Fest and all of the wiener jokes we make.
They had hot Italians.
It's the Italian stallion sausage.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. So, Anthony, do you have any final thoughts before we close off?
That's it. No more WildStar, so I'm going to go color some comics, goddammit.
I mean, get to your coloring, man. I don't have any parting thoughts. So, don't forget, we stream live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. Do the math from there, because I don't want to do math.
Nope.
At live.atgnpodcast.com. And the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is a part of the Gonna Geek Network. So if you need to get your geek bone tickled by some other podcasts, go to GonnaGeekNetwork.com. We got a crap ton of podcasts for you guys to check out. Doesn't matter.
A whole lot of sexy articles.
And a whole lot of sexy articles. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff covered with different Gonna Geek podcasts. And there's some new stuff out, like the Gotham Gazette, which I guess was on the front page of iTunes for a short time. So congrats to the folks over at the Gotham Gazette.
Congrats, that's awesome. I didn't know they did that.
I didn't either. Surprised me. And with the beginning of the TV season starting up again, I know we have a bunch of podcasts that will be starting back up off of hiatus again on the network. So be sure to check them out.
That's right. Everybody go show some love to the CW, because you know they got the best goddamn superhero shows on television.
They really do, and I have no other way to close this episode other than by agreeing with the fact that the CW has the best goddamn superhero television shows.
And we get to listen to Grant Gustaf say, "I am the fastest man alive."
I'm not going to make the joke. We're getting out of here, guys. And make sure you watch Arrow and Flash this week, or you suck as a human.
That's
Bye,
true.
guys.
Bye.